5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me. Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka. Phenomena. Tiptoe through the tulips with me.
You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to...
This one's explosive.
All right, we're doing it again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. This is called live broadcasting. It's doing crazy and doing good, saying things you wish you could, or that we would have, but it was deleted, or we were on mute, and I don't know.
Something
Anyway,
happened.
We're here, we're back, Jack. So get in the,
Doing
go
it
far.
a second time.
Second time, two time. Yeah. Take two.
Take two.
So here we are. Let's go wherever we need to be there.
We were just sitting there talking, and
Yep,
we're broadcasting.
And then we look over and we're like, oh.
We're not
Yeah,
recording.
we're not recording. So people are like.
It was recording, just couldn't hear us.
Yeah. So
anyways, you're listening to Talk Supernatural Radio, where
again.
where we truthcast live from the U.S. to the U.K., up north to down under, Rhode Island to Easter Island, Ding Dong, Texas to Soda Butt, Wyoming.
I live in Soda Butt.
If you're listening, you are right where you're supposed to be.
So once again, what's going on, my pair of freaks and geeks? We are Scott and Heidi Linden. See, last week what happened is since we weren't here last week, we figured we'd just do everything twice this week.
That's it.
Here once again to pry open the deaf ears, the blind eyes, by airing the bizarre reality with true news, laughs, facts, experiences, stories, and of course, words for you to live right by.
We weren't here last week because it was my husband's fault.
It was our son's fault.
It's his birthday. He was born on April Fool's Day, so we had to celebrate with him. We had to watch an NXT pay-per-view and celebrate his birthday.
It was really good, too. If you guys watched it, it was really good.
So tonight we are doing our son was born on April Fool's Day. You would just never guess that. We're so serious.
What if we've already said that and everybody's hearing us twice?
They're not. You couldn't hear us.
I don't know how far it went.
It didn't, and you couldn't hear nothing. We were the deaf ears. We were the muted. But we're going to do our April Fool's Day special broadcast tonight, since last week we missed it. Tonight we've got random facts, stories, top fives, and cray para news. But first, we're going to get into the real news.
Interesting.
Headlines.
All right, so this week, or no, actually it was last week because we're doing last week's news.
Twice.
All
right.
This week, or last week, was famous artist Vincent van Gogh's birthday. And he is famous for the whole ear chopping off thing and sending it to his chick.
Right.
Because I love you, so look at my ear.
Yeah.
Because
he wanted to hear from her.
Oh, so speaking to the box,
So
send
he
it back.
sent the ear so that he could hear from her.
That's so lame. Maybe that's what he was
All she
thinking.
had to do was speak into the box and he'd hear it.
He was a little crazy, so maybe it was a metaphorical thing. You never know. But the story isn't exactly what we all think it is or remember. He suffered from a temporal lobe epilepsy neurological condition. They characterize it as recurring seizures. And during one of his seizures, he attempted to attack his friend with a razor. Now, I've seen people have seizures. They don't stop to grab a razor and say, hey, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. So I don't know what kind of seizures those were. I'm,
Living on the cutting edge, I guess.
And I'm trying not to laugh.
Don't laugh because we've been hearing that.
I laugh too much.
You laugh too much and that I'm not serious enough. So all the jokes will be gone from now on. We will never make another joke. This will be your typical...
boring podcast.
No
way. That's why we're doing April Fool's one, just so that we can be silly.
No, that's it. That's it. There will never be another humorous moment.
You can't let them bring us down, Scott.
No, I'm letting them bring it down.
No.
I'm going down.
Don't go
I'm
down.
like a Led
Stay
Zeppelin.
here.
I'm going down.
What does Led Zeppelin have to do with going down?
Led Zeppelin. You know
Yeah.
what a Zeppelin is?
No,
The Goodyear blimp's like a Zeppelin.
it is.
a World War
I had no.
II thing, and if it was made out of lead, it wouldn't float real well, will it?
Oh,
Would it?
no.
A
Wow.
balloon full of lead?
I just thought it was like a rock band with a stupid name. I didn't know it came
no.
from something
Yeah,
real.
no. A Zeppelin was...
Wow, you learn something new every day. This
Yeah.
is exciting. We are an educational show now. Love it. All right. So anyway, so Vincent van Gogh had this crazy problem where he had seizures, but I'm wondering if it was more of a spiritual attack. And everyone's like, God, you say that about everything. But everything is spiritual in a sense.
Well, according to the Bible, it is.
Right, exactly.
Everything has to be thought spiritual. Everything is spiritual.
We are spiritual beings in physical bodies, so you
Right.
got to always...
So...
But the things that tie into this guy's life, he talks about having seen dark shadows at night when he was sleeping.
Most shadows at night are dark.
They're dark in the
Thus
day.
they're shadows.
Shadows are in the day too. He didn't see them in the day.
Well, they're still dark.
I know, but he's saying at night when he was trying to
And
sleep.
if you see a light shadow, then we
That'd be
an
weird.
apparition. We have a ghost.
Oh, well, that's
like
deep.
Casper. He was always
Casper.
white.
Right?
See, he didn't make a shadow because he was...
White.
Yeah.
Oh, so he was a good ghost. That's why.
Well, that's not a joke. That was a fact.
And so Vince van Gogh, he supposedly attempted to attack his friend, but I don't know if that's exactly how it went. But then, okay, so during one of the seizures, he accidentally cut off part of his ear, not the whole ear, and it was just part of it. So
Part of the
that's
one
what
that he
happened.
sent?
Yeah, that's the one he sent.
Oh, well.
So,
Might as well do something with it.
and then, and the thing is that he made that Starry Night. It's really famous painting, and I think it's such a cool painting. It's just got all these cool swishes of blue and these towers of mountains and stuff. But it's called Starry. It's super famous, and he made it while he was in an insane asylum. Because he was crazy.
Before our interruption was that, sometimes these people have abilities and thoughts and ideas, and their brains are wired a little different. Their thought patterns, everything's just a little bit different. And they may not cope well with the rest of society because of how they're thinking, but it doesn't mean that they're totally out there, but they may
Right.
be a danger to other people, so they have to lock these people up. But some of them still have, what do you do if you're just wired different?
Yeah.
You just are. But if you're dangerous to yourself and other people, well, we got to
And
do
that's where
something
that
about
thin
you.
line is. People try to
Yeah.
prevent it, but then you're also preventing. I mean, they said that Einstein was autistic.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Well, he only had like a third grade education or something.
something like that.
It was
Yeah.
really, really low, and obviously that worked out well for me. It wasn't part of our school system, which is the
The Common Core.
Common Core.
Well, anyway, so with
Either went
Vincent
nuts
van
if he
Gogh.
would have had to deal with Common Core. Today. Imagine Einstein going, "What?"
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't have worked out. He would have dropped out in second grade. Vincent van Gogh ended up shooting himself, and his last words were, "The sadness will last forever." So he was dealing with some really dark things, depression, bipolar supposedly, and these seizures. But I want to do a in-depth research on his life because I bet you there are some undertones from supernatural issues. Yeah,
Could be.
you never know. So last Thursday was National Beer Day and World Health Day. So I'm sure there's a lot of happy people out there because they start slamming down the beer.
Well, they made every day something.
I know, but
Now it's to the point where it's not only something; it's two things.
well, there's a special day coming up in May. It's called Put Your Pillow in the Fridge Day. So, National Put Your Pillow in the
Who's
Fridge
up
Day.
with that?
I don't know, but I'm doing it because it sounds fun. Oh yeah, you never know.
It does sound like a lot of fun.
I don't. You know what? I
We'll just
always
take
wanted
our
to
food
do.
out and let it spoil on the counter while your pillow's in the freezer.
And I'm just going to take like 20 pictures. I'll take pictures, selfies of me and my pillow. Hey, I'm celebrating Put Your Pillow in the Fridge Day. Something I would do. Okay, Whoopi Goldberg launches a medical marijuana product aimed at helping menstrual cramps. Ouch. I guess, like you said.
Yeah. Well, you never know either. A marijuana product, so it could be
Yeah, it could be anything.
done a lot of
But
different ways.
What did you say before? You said if you have enough marijuana, it'll
Yeah,
cure
if
it.
you have enough, you'll get rid of all problems. You can call it whatever a medical aim problem you want. Well, I'm blind, and I guess I need medical marijuana because then I'll see funny things in my head.
Oh, hey, it would help. Well, they give you
you could
marijuana for cancer pain.
Yeah, and some of it,
and to
does
relieve
help.
the nausea. But you know what? The smell of marijuana makes me nauseous. So they're being healed, but someone else across the way is probably getting sick because that smell is so gross. So I don't know. But then there was, I think, it's migraines they give it for and cancer treatments like chemo and stuff afterwards. So I know they use it for that. I hear that medical marijuana is good for epilepsy. So Vincent van Gogh could have been, smoking a doob or two and he would have been fine. You never know.
Would have been great.
So, but it's the stuff that they put in it now. So if you were to take medical marijuana, just the plant, and do what you do with it, instead of them lacing it with all kinds of junk, I think that's where the issue comes in because you don't know what you're going to get. And then
the strength of it and what they're doing to it.
And part of the problem is, not only does it does mess up your brain cells, obviously, but so does alcohol. So, but the thing is that if you have enough of it, it makes you feel so good that you want it all the time because it's like, stuff like, after my surgery and I was taking those pain pills, I'm like, I love it. Life is awesome. But I can't have surgery all the time, just take pain pills. So you shouldn't take medical marijuana because pot will make
I guess it really depends on what your problem is. Yeah, I know one thing always leads to another.
Yeah.
So that's the problem is, you come up with something like this and it's like, okay, well, it works for that. Well, the problem is, why wouldn't you want,
Yeah. Judge Judy's so funny when she gets these people who have these they grow plants and stuff because they're allowed to or whatever, and she's always rolling her eyes and she's just mad because they come up with the craziest reasons why they need medical marijuana. It's hilarious. Like, I got this paper cut and it won't go away. All right. So anyways, NASA is going to create a Mars mixed reality tour. This, I think, is pretty cool. They teamed up with Microsoft to have a HoloLens mixed reality headset. They're going to take virtual elements merged with actual environment, creating a world in which real and virtual objects can interact.
So you'll be like looking at it and getting hit in the head with a rock.
Goosh. Goosh.
Whoa, it's so real. Oh, look, I'm bleeding. Oh, I lost my eye.
But it's real. It's part of the tour.
Yeah.
You got to sign a disclaimer.
I mean, like I said before, I've seen pictures of Mars, and I'm not so sure there's a lot to interact with.
But just to say,
there's rocks, there's some frozen water, some dirt.
Was it Mars, though, that they said that they think that the water is not frozen anymore or something? Or was that a different planet? Remember they were talking about that recently? That they're like, there's running water or something?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought
maybe it's global warming.
You remember me saying
I don't know.
Mars has global warming. Yeah.
Well, they're going to call the exhibit Destination Mars, and it's going to be opened up at NASA's Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex in Florida this summer. You can visit several areas of Mars, so you can see a bunch of different rocks. They're going to reconstruct it using real imagery from the Mars rover. And Buzz Aldrin,
Yep.
the one who supposedly landed on the moon, he walked the moon in 1969, and he is going to be a holographic tour guide. Ooh. So he's like 90 or something. It's got to be like 100.
It'll be a long tour. Follow me and go up the mountain. I gotta rest.
Just sit here for a minute on this rock. So do you think if they have this technology that they could insert a chip in us to make us see things that aren't there?
Absolutely.
So you think
who's to say they haven't already went to this extent? They've been experimenting with stuff like this, with making human body parts and mixing and matching different animals and species together, making some of these creatures that nobody can find. And you know as well as I do, this chip and sounds and all these different things they've been messing with forever. And it just isn't out there.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean there's not people within the government that have been experimented on and been sent out. I mean, who's to say that, some of these... Well, we talked about it, 2 weeks ago? That one guy, or 3 weeks ago, that one guy, is it
the
in
taxi
Michigan?
cab guy?
The taxi cab guy.
Yeah.
Well, receives a phone call, and he goes from being one person to another person and goes on a killing rampage. And then, what? You don't recall it.
Now, a long time ago, they used to think that the government was doing that with hypnosis.
Yeah.
But now it's, obviously more technologically inclined with chips.
Oh, yeah.
So... think about it. You know how there was a wave in, I want to say, the 70s, maybe 80s, when people were seeing aliens come into their bedroom and all this stuff? And I've always wondered, was it the government, dressed in their things, and then they chip you? Maybe when people were saying that they were on this spaceship, they were actually in some government facility, and the government's messing with their brains. And,
you never know. Your body, your brain is electricity. The whole thing runs off of body electricity, and so all you have to do is manipulate that.
That's true.
Just like you've seen when they've done like open head surgery and stuff. There's certain surgeries for, I think, epilepsy and different things like that you have to be awake for them to do it. Yeah, I guess that the scalp doesn't have a lot of feeling or whatever, and so they open up the scalp, and the person has to be coherent so that they know what they're doing. So they would go around with little pins and touch certain parts of the brain and see what motor device within their body is reacting. So they could take a little pin on a certain spot of the brain, and also one side of your arm could just go dead.
Oh my God! Forget that. That's creepy.
And you're right back up. So if you can do all that, there's no reason you can't. And that's, we're talking 25 years ago.
That's true.
If you do all that then, with today's technology, there's no reason you can't.
Yeah.
Wire a few things in, and you realize a certain signal goes through here and through there, and it causes you to, just kind of like shut off and listen to new commands or new ideas. And
that's scary.
Yeah.
Well, we want to do a show soon about that whole AI, that artificial intelligence, these robots. That's creepy.
Well, it's pretty
We're going to get into it next week.
Yeah, I didn't even know they existed until we seen this.
These
thing.
robots,
like,
man.
These things are as real as you and I.
But it's the whole concept.
Their eyes, they're blinking, everything
Some
is
facial
real
movements.
looking.
And when she say, "I'm going to destroy everyone on Earth," or something, it's like,
right,
that's not funny.
Because he told her
to do it.
the way he worded it. He
and
did
that movie
deliberately. Yeah.
with Will Smith, iRobot, that's like all real. But I'm sure when they made that movie, Will Smith. Okay, so anyways, yeah, we just go off that.
It's a little rabbit trail there, but we'll be all right.
We'll be all right. All right.
As long as we stay serious and don't laugh.
No. Can't help it. That's just who I am. Love me or leave me. Okay, Batman versus Superman. We saw it. I need to know.
I am Batman.
I need to know.
About what?
Who do you think would have won if they didn't become friends? Spoiler alert.
Oh, the way it was going right there,
Uh-huh.
Batman would have won.
But do you remember before we even saw it, you're like, how can anybody? And our son kept saying, you'll see.
he got the one thing that could destroy
kryptonite.
Superman.
Yep.
But I was wondering, can you totally 100% kill Superman? Can you actually totally 100% absolutely delete him from existence?
Yeah, how could you?
I mean,
I don't know. Because he was floating in air and he was deteriorating.
right, but he was still
and then
there.
he came back.
Despite all the beatings and everything that was going on, he didn't look any different. He just didn't have any more power.
But Batman's human and he'll eventually die. So Superman will win in the end.
And Batman's
Batman.
aging too.
Yeah, well, Batman's Ben Affleck now. He's a lot of people. Affleck.
Ben Affleck.
All right, so Wonder Woman, yay or nay in the movie?
In the movie, for me, I don't know, kind of a nay.
Yeah.
But I know I didn't follow the comic books when it comes to Wonder Woman. I only needed to really follow Linda Carter because Linda Carter is someone you follow.
Because you love Linda Carter.
Even I think she's in her 70s now. She still looks unbelievable. I know
Yeah.
it's probably a lot of makeup and a lot of whatever, but
She does look great.
Unbelievable.
Yep. Okay, so paranormal news. Okay, so get this. So we know that a lot of people died recently. Patty Duke, who
Yep.
she was in the Miracle Worker movie. And this last week it was Gary Shandling, and then Nancy Reagan, and then Patty Duke. So now Merle Haggard died. So we're wondering, are two more stars going to follow to do it? Because they say that stars die in threes. And so I was.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
And it seems to follow suit for the most part.
Yeah, but you'll find, obviously, a lot of scientists and stuff that say no. So I have this little note here. I did a little research on it, on the whole threes thing.
Dun, dun, dun.
Check this out. Okay. So they also say, I guess I never heard this, though, that natural disasters and personal life events happen in threes. I've never heard that, so that's probably something other people...
That part, yeah.
Okay. Now, I was like, okay, well, let's look at different angles of this. You got three in the Bible. Now, the Bible is tied into completeness. So it would be a positive thing, not a negative thing. So I don't think it's God, because Jesus prayed 3 times in the Garden of Gethsemane before his arrest. He died at 3 p.m. There was 3 hours of darkness that covered the land while Jesus was suffering on the cross. And then Christ was dead for 3 full days and 3 full nights. So I would say that it would not be God doing the threes. But we know, as investigators of the supernatural, that...
It's a mockery. We see that a lot with the
devil.
The devil
Demons.
using... A lot of people are disrupted in the middle of the night, usually around 3 o'clock, hearing 3 bangs on the wall.
Yeah.
Three seems to be a real common number on that side of the fence, too.
And then, as I was doing this research and I was thinking about this, you know what else came to my mind? Now, we've always seen it as the devil making a mockery of Jesus doing the threes, but he's also a copycat. So maybe he's doing it in threes and not mocking him. But I don't know.
Knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want me.
Oldie but goodie.
Twice on the door.
Is that what they say? They say twice on the door.
Yeah,
I don't remember it. Okay, well, I would just need to know. I need to know the lyrics of that song right now. All right, so numerology, okay? This is what's interesting. There is something in numerology, and I know God doesn't like us to mess with it because then we get deeper into things, and he just wants us to live on faith, which is fine. But I find this interesting. So celebrities dying in threes. Now, the number 3 in numerology is linked to creative people. Okay, well, people in Hollywood are creative. They're actors, and they're all flamboyant and stuff. Now, they're described as being powerful and a need to express their feelings, ideas, and visions in their imagination, coupled with an extroverted personality. I mean, most actors are very outgoing and they want to act out their stuff. Excellent social skills and charm, good looks, compelling charisma. And then a negative view, they're often vain, superficial, extravagant, and prone to complaining. I mean, doesn't that fit the typical diva or star? And they have a high intolerance and patience. So I just thought that was interesting because when they say stars dies in threes, famous people die in threes, I'm like, that fits 3 numerology as far as personality. But scientists say that we look to see patterns in random or bad events to make us feel better, and it's called apophenia.
Oh, yeah, I got that.
You have apophenia?
Yeah.
Yeah? What is it about?
I like to look at patterns and different things that happen, so that makes me feel better about what's happened. Like there's an excuse, like there's a reason.
Okay, the Illuminati is also tied to the number 3.
Yep, they are heavily.
Why? And if you guys by chance don't know what we mean by Illuminati, it's the powerful, wealthy, ritualistic organization, spiritual occultist ties. So why would the Illuminati be tied to 3? Because you know how like everybody always tries to...
Because 2 was already taken.
What's that song? 1 is the loneliest number. Okay, so 3 sides to their symbol of a triangle. So they're like, okay, that's reaching. But the Mason's highest rank is the 33rd degree. Number 3 is considered royalty in the occult, or well, I should say the old school stuff. Now God, Father, Son, Holy Ghost is considered special. So the mocking of the dark side, not Darth Vader, but, of evil, would mocking saying 3 is royalty as well. But do we make it that way ourselves? Because here's an example. Adolf Hitler, I didn't know this. You know how he committed suicide, right? Well, he chose the date, April 30th, 1945, because it was the first day of the pagan spring holy days. So he knew he was going to commit suicide and chose this day. And he chose 3:30 p.m. because the combinations of 3s presented to him the most favorable time to depart of this life and re-enter in their reincarnation cycle. That's why he did this whole thing
I hope
about...
he came back as a Jew.
He probably did. That would be the most torture for him.
I really do.
So figure April 30th is the first 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and 3:30 is the second 3.
I think he was raised under Jewish beliefs or something, wasn't he?
I don't know.
There was a whole bunch of reasons why he hated Jewish people so much. They were all personal.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I've never seen those movies and stuff and documentaries because they really get to me. It just breaks my heart. So I could never watch it. I could never, just the meanness and just I don't understand that evil. Yeah. Oh, all right. So I don't know that whole 3 things because I'm like I always wonder why do stars die in 3s?
Well, there's just so much to everything. There's so many details in our lives that we just don't understand. Well, I understand them all because I know everything, but a lot of other people don't.
Yeah. All right. Now
I'm Batman.
Batman couldn't beat Thor, though, just so you know.
Well, how do you beat it? I mean, Thor is a god.
Well, there you go.
It doesn't even make sense.
That just says it all right there, doesn't it?
But Superman, he really only has the one weakness.
Well, he's like a god to them, too, then, right? Because he's from another planet. He
really?
doesn't...
I mean, really? I mean, he's indestructible.
Yeah.
With the exception of kryptonite. So, I mean...
I don't know. I didn't write the comics. I don't know.
He doesn't age, right?
Yeah. Could have used him on The Walking Dead.
And from what we see, neither does Wonder Woman.
That's right. Well, you mean Linda Carter 70? She still looks good.
From a cartoon thing. She doesn't age.
Right, because she's from another planet too. They're all from different planets. Are they saying that people from Earth just don't have it? They don't have what it takes. We can't defend ourselves. Yeah. Wow.
The Incredible Hulk is the only one that is. See, he is from Earth.
But he injected himself with something.
Well, it's an experiment. But I guess he's aging as a human, but he's indestructible as the Hulk.
So he could
and
be
he's
like
actually
100.
Indestructible as a human because he can't even hurt himself because the second any pain comes to him, he instantly turns into the Hulk and goes away. And he has very, very super quick healing ability.
So when he hits like 100 and he's got arthritis,
yeah,
he's going to be Hulk all the time.
I don't know how that's all going to work, yeah.
We talk about like where it's so real and serious. Listen to us talk like a bunch of comic geeks. I love it. I love comics. Woo! All right. There is this picture that's going around on the internet, and they're saying it's creepy, it's evidence of demonic, and it's so not. There's just something off about this picture. Basically, it's a backward reflection selfie. There's this photo, and it's of a couple, guy and a girl, and they take this photo, and I don't know what's behind them, if it's a window or a door with a window in it or a mirror. But so they're like this, ching, hi, I'm smiling at the camera. And then in the reflection behind them of the window and the door, you would think that it would reflect the back of her head, but it actually reflects the front of her face, and it's like all a little bit distorted. And everyone's like, it's a demon. But I think, now here's what, in my opinion, it's fake. I think either they did it and they sent it out like this, or it's some kind of anomaly with a camera, a reflection type thing, because it's not the exact reflection. It's definitely not her reflection. To me, it looks like it was Photoshop, but... So there are apps where you do a reverse image in a photo in the iPhoto app. So it could be any one of those things. Don't believe everything you see on the internet, please. All right. Okay, here. Let's talk exorcisms.
Okay.
Exorcisms are well known to be connected with the Catholic Church because, Hollywood has done that. Hey, what's that?
Talking backwards.
That was good. I used to play my Prince album backwards, and there's a really bad song called Darling Nikki, and when you'd do it backwards, it would say things, and it creeped me out, and I'd do it again. I would just want to be creeped out all the time.
And you wonder why you have problems.
Because I listen to Prince. I knew it. Any guy wearing purple who's only like 2 foot tall. All right. So, when we talked about last week, we talked about like the wave of demonic energy and stuff coming about. And exorcisms are very common in many cultures and religions. So why are we having this wave of acknowledgement for people who aren't in different cultures? There's been a surge of drug-related satanic killings in Mexico, so much so that a guy it was in May 2015, I think his name's Father Fortia. He coordinated a major exorcism in the entire country of Mexico. He's going to exorcise the entire country of Mexico. Okay? I don't know. I've never, if Jesus could have wiped out everybody at once, maybe he could have. I don't know. But I don't know if Father Fortia can do this. He said the exorcism took place in the Archdiocese of San Luis Potosi, Mexico. Here, read what he said.
It says he puts up barriers to demonic action, but unfortunately doesn't serve to prevent someone who is already morally degraded from approaching the devil asking for things.
So he was like basically saying, I'm going to protect everybody who's, I guess, not under the influence of the devil. But if you're going to keep...
Well, that's not much of an exorcism.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What is he saying? It's sort of like the weatherman saying, it might rain, it might not. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't understand what he was... That was just weird. So, I don't know. Do you think is it... what's the word? Are you able to exorcise a whole country? I mean, isn't exorcism a personal... I mean, you can't... If we did that, we might as well do...
Jesus could.
Oh, sure. And he plans on it later on in life. But I mean...
It always falls under the will of God anyways, but...
But I mean, if we went around we could clear up the whole world in a day.
Spiritually, you shouldn't be able to. if all things are right. But that's not God's will. It's not going to work that way.
Cool, because we're not all right. We don't all have the power.
No, we're not all right. There's too many. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I guess that's what he's saying.
That's
but
not going to work.
Yeah, I should find that guy's email and email him and say, "How's that working out for you? Did it work? How are things going?"
Yeah.
They have the first school of exorcism opening up in Argentina. You could take a course in exorcism affair consultant.
I wonder who they bring in to experiment with. It's like, here's that guy that was in the caves back in the time of Jesus. Now we've brought him in. He's getting old, but he's been brought from the dead maybe 100 times now. We're practicing with him. And he's got a multitude of demons, and we would like you to take some of the skills you've learned and remove these demons from this individual. So, Bob, it's your turn. Would you please come up here and remove the demons from this guy who's cutting himself? And go ahead, Bob. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Bob. He's like, man, I forgot to study last night. What do I do? I don't know. I don't know about this. They have classes in parapsychology, angelology. You can learn about all the angels. I don't know where they're getting their information from because the Bible doesn't say a whole lot. And demonology is offered too, so you can learn about demons. It's a 3-year course, and it's one time a week for $50. Now, I don't know if it's $50 a week or the whole course is $50.
Boy, it would be interesting just to see because, like, angelology. I mean, how long are you gonna teach on that? You know how little information in the Bible is about angels?
That's what I don't understand.
Well, that's because they're taking other books, they're taking other writings, they're taking other thoughts, other denominations, and they're putting it together and calling it fact.
Yeah.
So here, this is the angel kaleidoscope, and he is in charge of designing flower tops. I mean, I don't know, it's just a bunch of crap, and they put it together and tell you it's fact. And for someone without no knowledge of the actual Word of God, they're going to buy into this.
And it's dangerous for them because they're going to start believing false things. Because it's
ideology. Mm-hmm. It's like you're missing the whole boat. It's not going to work. But it'd be interesting to go just to. You might get something out of it, or at least a lot of great information for us to use on our podcast.
That's true. Yeah, we could rip on it. I don't know. I think it's wrong. They're leading people down the wrong paths. And
you said there's even a school down in I think it's in Illinois. You said that you could be a witch. You could take.
Yeah, it's like I just don't see how you teach spirituality and teach supernatural aspects and how. I mean, you could teach about a spell or whatever, but you don't teach somebody to become a witch. Like it just doesn't.
Well, I think you give them all the fundamentals, and you some people.
So is that now? They're not telling you that you can become an exorcist. They're saying you can be an exorcism affair consultant. See how they're titling it?
Exorcism affair
consultant. They said the intention is to train students so they can discern the types of spiritual forces they're dealing with, intelligent or malignant, and remove them from houses, objects, and people. So they're telling
discernment is a spiritual gift
exactly
given through the access of being baptized in the name of Jesus Christ for the remission of sins, thereby giving you the Holy Ghost. Along with the spiritual gift comes the spiritual gifts, which one of them would be discernment of spirits.
Well, you know what? I don't have to take a class. If I'm going
down we the can do it for free. and we can do it right now.
Well, the thing is, before I knew God, I had that ability, and I hated it because you barely saw good. You usually saw bad. But you take the good with the bad, and I accepted it, and I hated it. But at the same time, when, I got baptized and I turned my life over to God, He took away all the bad stuff. And now it's all good stuff. Now, if I'm walking down the street and I see somebody has something dark with them, it is not in the sense of actually seeing a demon or getting sick anymore or feeling their pain. It is, I know something's wrong with them, and if I can pray or whatever. So that's way different.
Right. You're in more of a position not to be affected by it and more in a position to do something about it.
Having an ability and having a gift are two different things.
Right, yeah. Having a gift, having an ability to see all these things is not necessarily a good thing. But just having the knowledge, like you said, of knowing something's wrong is really all you needed to know.
And if you're covered by God's Spirit, you're not going to be attacked. You are going to be able to help that person. You can do so much more when it becomes a gift versus having
somebody
ability.
With a gift of auto repair.
I know you do.
Okay.
We do.
And not just the kind that you go to the store and you pay some guy to do it. The gift of where they just touch my vehicle and it's healed miraculously.
And mine.
And
yeah.
yours too.
We need that.
We've had a rough week vehicle-wise.
Yeah. Maybe it's because we didn't do our podcast. Well, anyways, so this is what the guy said, and I thought this was interesting. It's like almost like he's trying to get out of it. He said, so far, no other school in Latin America with these with these disciplines and grants a similar title. So basically, they're giving you a title. You know what I'm saying? So they're not telling you you're giving the power. You're not getting the authority. They're giving you a title. The new program is open to anyone interested in the subject matter, whether they're Lutheran, Christian, or a non-believer. And I'm like, that is right there. That's such a fault because faith is the key, not belief. And you have to have the faith. The faith is the power. You can read 100 books, but that's not going to give you power. It's only going to give you knowledge.
Yeah.
So
they say knowledge is power, but when it comes to the knowledge of God and the knowledge of His Word will provide you with power. But
only
in this
if you do what
case,
you're
they're
supposed to
saying
do, though.
No belief and no faith. So without the faith and the belief and the understanding of God and what He requires of you, you're really not going to display any power.
But there's a lot of people who have knowledge of God and of the Bible, but they don't go and do what they're supposed to do to obtain the power.
Just like, with your book and stuff like that, with the Daughters of Siva, and they went through where they had the knowledge.
Yeah.
And they wanted to command these demons to come out of this individual, and they got their butts kicked. It didn't happen. Why? They had the knowledge.
Yeah.
They knew what name to use.
Exactly.
They knew all the information they needed to know, but they lacked the faith.
Their dad was
and
even
the
a priest.
understanding of whose name they're using. It's like you just can't shoot it out there as, oh, here's information that makes me, has the right to use it just because I know the name of our president. Barack Obama, doesn't mean I can go around doing what he does.
Right. You can't walk into the White House and say, what's
I
up?
can't do any of those things. I don't have the right to. I don't have the, the credentials and all that.
Yeah.
I'm not him, And it's the same thing with this. Just because you know a name or you know some information or you've read the whole Bible and you've memorized it does not mean you have the power to do anything.
And every moment is different. So an example would be if you and I were to go to someone's house to help them and to cast out something and to help them, and we were successful. And then the next day, let's say we go to a bar, we get into a fight, we get drunk, we get high, whatever. And then someone calls us and says, hey, we got something going on. We can't go to another house and cast anything out because now we're not right. Because with that stuff, demons come with those types of things, with immorality and stuff like that. So you can't say, oh, I'm okay with me and God are tight, so I can go do whatever. It doesn't work like that. And so there's just so many rules. Unfortunately, people are like, oh, that's not true. And it is. And, well, we learned the hard way. So,
we've already done it the wrong way. So,
and we were unsuccessful, so we know.
We've done it the right way, too. So we know both sides of the fence. That's how we can speak through. It's not opinion for us. It's facts. It's like, we've done enough of this to know what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah, I hate people who teach falsely. And you know what? I was one of those people. And it took me many years to get over that guilt and shame of teaching wrong and false. And oh, God, it makes me so mad when people do it. So I wouldn't be a jerk to them. I would try to tell them right. I wouldn't be a jerk. And I don't judge people because I was there too. But it's like, oh, you lead so many people the wrong way. Okay, so on to the next thing. Okay, so on this whole exorcism, demonic stuff going on, there was a confessed killer in Cape Town. He beheaded a 15-year-old and sold this 15-year-old's body parts, or was going to sell these body parts to a healer. His name was Aljar Swartz, and he was convicted of killing and beheading a teenager. In court, his lawyer asked the court to facilitate an exorcism. Swart was only 17, and he admitted to killing this 15-year-old so that he could sell his body parts to a Sangoma, which is a traditional healer in South Africa. Now, in October, what he did was he strangled this person and repeatedly stabbed them until they were dead, and he was in an abandoned school. And then he buried the head in the yard. And his lawyer said that it was a great concern that this guy suffered from demonic forces. The judge said she never heard of an order of an exorcism in court, so she didn't know enough about what to do to, go ahead with that order. The attorney wants the exorcism procedure carried out and have it recorded to show at sentencing for the closing arguments. He wants people to say, you know what, something's not right with this guy, and whether it's a fake, what do you call it, a fake case.
Exorcism or case or...
Yeah, fake
okay.
Reasoning, or if it's real. It's just interesting to me that it's never been, So, but the problem is now everybody's like, yeah, I want exorcism too.
That's my problem. Yeah. I'm spiritually discerned.
So, but I'm going to follow. I'm going to keep following that story in the news because that's interesting.
Fascinating.
German police arrested 5 South Korean family members for beating to death a 40-year-old woman in a religious exorcism ritual in a hotel room. Now, they were family members who said she was possessed by demons. They tied her to a bed, they gagged her, and they severely beat her for 2 hours trying to drive out the devil. You don't drive out the devil by beating.
Enjoy that.
Yeah. He's loving it.
He's like, yeah, beat this woman some more.
You can't. The devil is a spiritual entity, and you have to deal with it spiritually, not physically.
Yeah.
Oh, so the woman heading up this exorcism was 41. Her son was 21, and she had a daughter who was 19. And then there were 2 15-year-olds. One was the victim's son. So they were all related. Now, nice. I don't know if they were all nuts or if they really believe this or what. The cause of death was suffocation due to massive chest compression and trauma to the neck because she was gagged with a towel and then a cloth covered hanger.
Very nice.
They didn't really talk about a specific religion, and they just moved into a city 6 weeks prior. But then this investigation of this murder led police to discover a second female relative in the garage of another house that they had rented in a different town. She was badly injured, and she had hypothermia, and she was dehydrated, but she was alive. Oh. So this was a second person that they were going to do this to.
Oh.
So I'm wondering, I mean, are they using this whole demon possession thing to get out of it? Or
maybe they're the ones possessed.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Or are they possessed?
I mean, are they the ones with the problem?
Right.
And
they just...
And once again, if you see someone like this and your viewpoint to that person, like someone who's criminally insane or whatever it is, their viewpoint of you is maybe just as odd as your viewpoint to them.
Yeah, that's true.
So...
And you've got to wonder, too, I mean, is this going to ruin the credibility of true exorcisms? And I hate the word exorcism because it leads to the whole Catholic Church and stuff, but I never know what word to use. I mean, there's deliverance of demons, maybe, I don't know. But, and then I always am curious, when you've got somebody who's like a serial killer, like these people who are beating somebody to death, blaming the devil, are they demon-possessed themselves,
well, now they have
or are they just evil
which
themselves?
Makes everything real weak now.
Right, because they had somebody else.
Now you got another one. It's like,
let's just start killing off our family members. I mean, that's weird.
Kill them all. Eventually, you'll solve the problem.
This is interesting. There was a woman named Debbie, and she was on Dr. Phil. This was through MSN News.
Dr. Phil is going to be on WWE next Monday.
That's weird. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah,
that's going to be funny. What the heck?
Maybe he's going to analyze Kane.
For being crazy?
His multiple personalities. I don't know.
I don't know what he's going to do. But this woman, it was on MSN News. I don't watch Dr. Phil. But although Dr. Phil has some really interesting shows on kids with schizophrenia and crazy stuff, it's like I want to watch those. So she's a self-proclaimed gambler. Over 20 years, she said she's been addicted to gambling. She's been obsessed. And she said, like a demonic feeling. Her daughter says she gets like a monster. She gets explosive, and police have been called to her house for fits of rage. When she leaves the casino, she cries and screams, and I hate you. She says that to herself in the mirror. And then she stays days at these casinos, and she's opened 50 to 75 credit cards and lost $300,000 to $400,000 so far in gambling.
Oh.
Now, when she says she feels obsessed, like a demonic feeling, what do you think? Do you think that's a cop-out? Or do you think
no? I
demons
think that's spirit. I think there's a spiritual aspect to many things.
It's a type of addiction, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know because I buy $1 cards at the gas station and I lose, the scratch offs, and I don't want to buy one for a year because I'm so mad that I don't win nothing. So I don't understand how people just keep spending their money.
Hope.
Oh. Okay, read about this chick.
A 17-year-old
Marnie. Her name is
Marnie Harvey. Now, she bleeds from her eyes, her ears, her tongue, her scalp, nose, gums, her bottom lip, and even her fingernails, and no one knows why. I've seen pictures of her. Are you going to post those?
Yeah, I'm going to post those on Facebook. Ew.
So it started when she was 16, and she was getting headaches and coughing up blood, and when she would go to sleep or went to sleep one afternoon with a really bad migraine, she woke up, looked in the mirror, and one side of her face was covered with blood from her eye.
God.
And I've seen the picture. Yeah, it's pretty bad. This kept happening, and it would pour from her eyes every day for the next week until both ears began to bleed too. So she's been tested for every known disease, disorder, cancer, tumor, any type of malformation of any kind. Her entire body seems to be healthy, but she bleeds up to 5 times a day. And also has the painful migraines and nausea. So this is absolutely horrific. Obviously, she can't do much of anything with symptoms like this.
She's such a pretty girl, but oh my gosh. What do you do if they can't figure it out? And she's just sick of it. She's like, can't somebody figure this out, find out what's wrong with me? You know, and I don't know. They can't even find the cause of it to say this is, they can make up a disease. And
obviously, with this happening this much to her, they've probably been able to check her out while it's happening.
I wonder if she has to have blood transfusions or something. If you're bleeding that much,
it may not be a lot of blood. It doesn't take a lot of blood to look like a lot of blood, and your body reproduces blood fairly quickly. But
what about that whole thing? We should do a show on it sometime. The whole stigmata where people were bleeding, with points of the cross for Jesus. I'm just wondering. Maybe she's cursed with something. Maybe it's a spiritual issue where, I've hear some weird curses.
There's a lot of stuff out there we haven't heard about, don't know about, without answers to it.
Wow, that's strange. All right, so that was all like crazy paranormal news and news and all that.
Yes,
but
and I didn't make too many jokes, did I?
No,
I stayed serious.
You're boring that way. All right. Let's talk about the best April Fool's kinds of pranks. Did you ever? I hate April Fools. I hate pranks. I don't
believe in it. I think it's evil. I think it's demonic.
Do not.
I think it's. I guess I was never one to really. Just for April Fools, I did plenty of pranks and other times of the year, but.
Like what, Scott?
Like your shoes untied.
No. Pumpkins.
Oh, that wasn't a prank.
Well, you said you did them the rest of the year, so I thought
can't do the rest of the year pumpkins.
Tell our listeners what you used to do.
I'm not going to tell them what I used to do.
You know what you used to do?
What?
You told me the other night. You said you used to take pumpkins and roll them in the street, and cars would smash into them.
It was great. You should have seen it. They would explode. Of course, we had to run and hide behind trees and stuff because we don't want to get caught.
That's so wrong. What was the other thing you told me you did? I can't remember.
You take them big Christmas bulbs, the old-fashioned ones, the really big ones, and when you slam them on the ground, they explode.
So wrong. Man. Yeah.
But that's... A lot of people did that.
Yeah, the TV show Roseanne... Back in the day.
Yeah.
Every Halloween or...
they would go through a major...
Was it Halloween or April? Maybe it was April Fool's Day, but they would go through a whole prank to do, and they would try to overdo each... and everybody was so onto them, so they would have to get everybody else involved, and these pranks were just ridiculous. Yeah. They were so good. Well, these are just some funny... Because, last week was April Fool's, and we were going to record on April Fool's Day, but you take an empty and clean mayonnaise container. Okay, so you take it, you clean it all out, wash it out, put vanilla pudding in there. And then you go into an elevator and you just start eating it for about... That would gross me out. People eat mayo. Take some Oreo cookies, okay, eat the yummy inside, the white cream inside, and then fill it with toothpaste, and then put it out in a plate at work and let people eat them. Gross! That's a good one. Okay, remember, I don't know if they still have these, the rubber jars of glue?
Yeah.
Okay, so
School, it was always like glue you used in first grade or whatever.
Yeah, and everybody smell them.
Yeah, right, that's probably quit doing that since...
Or then you rubbed them in your hand and said, I got boogers.
Yeah.
Okay,
I never did that because I don't find that to be very humorous.
I'm sure you did. You take that and you clean them out really, really good, and you fill it with honey. And then in front of somebody, you start eating it. With the brush and everything. That's so gross. This one I would hate because I hate loud noises. So Okay, you go to your TV and you turn it up as loud as you can. Then turn it off. And then you take black electric tape and you tape the remote.
The sensor.
Yeah, so that when someone turns the TV on, then they can't turn it up. Because obviously they can't turn the TV on, so they're going to go to the TV and manually turn the TV on. And then it's going to be a blast. So they're going to be like, trying to turn it down. They can't.
Wow.
That's horrible.
That's fascinating.
That's one of the top best April Fool's pranks, they said.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it would drive people nuts. It would drive me nuts.
I like this number 1 here.
Put 2 tablespoons of flour in someone's blow dryer, and then get it in there real good, and then turn it off. Yeah, I heard though it might ruin it though, so you might
maybe only do 1 tablespoon.
Yeah, but they're like $10 at Walgreens, so just get another one. So I just thought those were funny ideas to do.
Yeah,
you do them in front of your kids or something, because kids aren't that smart sometimes, and you could really fool them with some of that.
I remember one time I told you about this. We took the zip ties, the big zip ties, things like a foot long, and we strap them on people's drive axles on the job site. Oh. And so when they go down the road, it's click, 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 click. And, and this one kid we did it to, he had just gotten his 4-wheel drives a few years back. And, he just got the car, and he's like, what's going on? So he drives, he's driving it, so he goes right back to the dealer. He just got this thing. He's freaking out. And he said, this thing's horrible noise, blah, 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 blah. They bring it in there, and what happens is the zip ties break off. And they're not there. They just break off. Oh. And so they're like, we can't find anything wrong with your car. It cost them like $300.
That's so
look
mean.
At his truck and or you take black electrical tape and very carefully put it around the windshield wipers, just about in the eye view where it'd be about the center of the window. So as the windshield wipers go on when it rains, and they won't see it because it's black.
Yeah.
And so the windshield wiper is going to skip a spot. It's going to keep skipping a spot. And you haven't really ruined anything in these tricks, but if you don't know that electrical tape's there, it's going to drive you nuts.
Oh, that's messed up. Oh, man. I would hate that. Those are good.
Yeah, they're really good. Or you can always put soap in somebody's window wash or something. Anyways.
Okay. So, remember a couple weeks ago we talked about, it was all over the news, how Aaron Rodgers from the Green Bay Packers, publicly he said that he'd witnessed a UFO with a couple people. So I started doing research on famous people who have had paranormal experiences. So I'm going to give you top 5 famous people who have had paranormal encounters. Okay? Dun, dun, dun. Number 5, Keanu Reeves. Remember Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? The Matrix. He was Neo in The Matrix.
Most excellent.
Well, he said he saw ghosts on 2 occasions. He is a huge believer in the paranormal. Like, he talks about it like you and I do, like it's a normal thing, which is sort of cool. He said he saw a spirit behind his friend while having lunch one time. And once he was in his room and he saw a torso, but it had no body or legs. Just a torso. Okay. That's weird. So that's neat.
I've heard different people say they've seen stuff like that without certain parts of their body are just missing. Yeah. Arms, legs, or they're like I've seen half of them, no legs. It's like, and we've got a picture.
Yeah.
We got a picture of legs, and that's it.
Yep. That's weird.
Legs and shoes, no body, no head, no arms.
I never understood that.
We got a photograph of it, and it was an accidental.
Yeah. But it was weird because a girl who can see things, before we took the picture, had said to us, oh my God, I swear I just saw like white sneakers walk by.
So she took a picture.
She took a picture, and that was weird. Yeah. So, Loretta Lynn, country singer Loretta Lynn, she used to hold seances, so she's really into the spiritual stuff. She said she often saw the ghost of her best friend Patsy Cline, crazy. They were best buds. And she actually would contact Patsy Cline like once a week and talk to her, and just, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
Number 4, Evander Holyfield. He said he had a ghost encounter when he was on Celebrity Paranormal Project, which I don't even know what that is, but he experienced a ghost. So it's sort of neat because, he's like the big guy, and I thought that was neat. Miley Cyrus, in 2009, she was in London in an apartment she was renting. She said she freaked out because she saw a little boy sitting on the sink watching her take a shower. I'm thinking, she's always high and messed up, so maybe we shouldn't count that. So I have a different number 3 because Miley's always high.
I don't know where she's at.
Yeah, so maybe she was high. Thought she saw that. Matthew McConaughey, who's that guy in that car commercial with the weird slick back hair, and we're always like, that's so greasy and gross.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He said he has a resident female ghost in his Hollywood home. He calls her Madame Blue. And he even says that. He says, well, one time, she saw me totally naked, and I had a little bit of a conversation with her, and now we're tight. And he actually sees her and has a name for her and everything. That's good. That's crazy. Ariana Grande, she was at a haunted castle in Missouri, and she also went to a graveyard with friends, and she said the atmosphere got overwhelmingly negative, and a sick feeling came over her, the smell of sulfur. Mm-hmm. So we know that has to do with demonic a lot of times.
Yeah, we've experienced some of this stuff here with the negative, the sick feeling.
Yeah.
I've never had the smells myself. I know other people have. But that sick feeling can be a real common thing if you're around enough negativity or spiritual stuff that just feel. Yeah. And actually, I know that bothered you, and I think it bothered somebody else in our group who would get just almost to the point of
nausea,
vomiting.
Oh,
sick.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, just like boom.
And I think that's the thing is like every one of us, because we're spiritual beings, that we can sense other stuff. It just depends if our mind is into it, how much other stuff around us is maybe drowning out that spiritual aspect. I mean, if you live in Wall Street and you're constantly busy, you're not going to be experiencing ghosts.
Right.
But if you're into it, you're more apt to thinking about it. And the brain is a muscle. You are using it.
Well, and other people, once again, they're wired differently. So
yeah.
Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not there.
Exactly.
And other people's brains wired a little bit different, and they're sensitive to something that's there.
Yeah.
Just because you can't see it, they're like, don't you see that? No, I don't.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's not there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're so smart
I know.
and cute. And number one, definitely made number one, Kesha, the singer Kesha. She says that she has sex with ghosts. Yeah. She has a new song called Supernatural, and she told Ryan Seacrest that she had a couple experiences with the supernatural, and she said, I don't know his name, but he was a ghost. I'm very open to it. Have another. Maybe you and Miley should hang out. Okay, so I just thought that was funny.
Huh.
Okay, oh boy. And you know what? That is, I've heard that from people before about this whole sex ghost thing, and I know
I've never heard of it being good, though.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, I don't know.
And I know you actually know somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
That had severe situations with that. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I can't imagine it being a good thing. And sometimes I think it's a psychological thing or a dream thing. You just had a really good dream or something because...
Well,
I don't know. Because ghosts are spirits.
The person, but you start talking about
well,
demonic stuff. You're talking about another realm entering our realm.
Right. But, I mean, these people who think that they're actually having sex with actual ghosts and it's like a positive thing, it's like... I'm not really thinking so because...
Well, I don't know.
It's a spirit. It's a ghost. They can't physically feel stuff.
But we have been touched. I have personally been touched by spiritual things.
Right.
Well, the whole sex thing is just another form of touching.
No, because if you're being touched
by a higher level,
just
more of it.
If you're being touched by a ghost, they're trying to get your attention. If they want to have sex with you, there's a reason you would have sex with a ghost, or a ghost would try to have sex with you.
Well, ghost, demonic, whatever. We're talking the sex side of this. I would definitely say we're talking demonic.
Right.
Okay, because this is something to take control and power over.
Then I agree with you.
Okay, but as far as the ghost, and we've been touched, but I see no reason. Yeah, we've all been touched by things, whether it be a ghost or demons, or whatever it is. But I've been touched, so you've been touched. We've all been touched. So if a so-called ghost can do that, well then,
yeah,
most certainly.
I just would want to know what the positive reasoning would be behind it if it was a ghost. So I don't really buy that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
It's weird. It's confusing.
I don't want to make any jokes. And believe me, there's a big open area for jokes right here. It's huge.
Okay. Random top 5 did you knows. Okay. Did you know, as a survival tactic, jellyfish can age backwards?
Yeah, I don't know
That's
how that
wild.
works.
Despite the fact that they have no brains, they've managed to find the fountain of youth. They can go back. My favorite, banging your head against a wall burns 150 calories if you do it for an hour.
You do it too much longer than that, you will burn all your calories. You'll be dead.
If you consistently fart for 6 years and 9 months, enough gas is produced to create the energy of an atomic bomb.
Somebody better tell Iran that.
Oh,
Enough people, they can just start collecting all that. Put it all together.
Start ordering beans in the boxfuls.
Do not open that box.
Number 2. The person who invented the Frisbee was cremated and made into Frisbees after he died. Ew, that's just so gross.
Ew.
This is the worst. The average person's yearly fast food intake will contain 12 pubic hairs. Ew.
Mick you.
That's horrible.
Ew.
It made me never want fast food again. And I don't know how they know that. That's what they say. But
I mean, they talk about how many spiders a person eats in a lifetime, how many
Yeah.
pounds of dirt we eat in a
'cause of
lifetime,
dust.
and that, and just, different things. So, it's some things you just don't want to know.
All right, now we're going to do top 5 B-rated horror flicks.
Which we happen to watch most rated B.
We do. We love them. They're
some of them are
good.
so stupid they're
I
funny.
don't
so.
like to be scared, but I still like a little bit of that scary element, but with fun, because that's just, and that's how we do our podcast too.
Here we go. Number 5.
Go ahead.
Number 5, Mars Attacks. This is a 1996 film. It had Jack Nicholson, Jack Black, Natalie Portman, Pierce Bronson, Danny
DeVito.
Danny DeVito, and Martin Short.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Here, I got a little clip from it.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's the trailer, or no, it's the aliens. So the aliens come down, and they've got these huge heads. This is what they sound like.
I am the Martian ambassador. We come in peace. We come in peace. We come in peace. We come in peace.
They came in peace.
Okay, but they don't come in peace.
We've actually seen this quite a few times.
Yes, I love that movie. I bought it on DVD. It's hilarious.
we've actually, it's...
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
And they don't come in peace.
And then Jack Nicholson's playing the president
Right.
of the United States.
Yeah.
And he's like, what is happening to me?
That's great.
Can't we just get along?
That's what he says.
Can't we all just get along? There's room for both of us.
We actually know somebody. I'm not going to say who it is, but we know somebody who's like, she's elderly and very tiny, and she wears
got a
this
really big head.
really big head and this big bouffant old lady
Oh my
head
God,
thing.
it's ridiculous.
And she wears these, she's got big round eyes. She looks just like the alien from.
Oh, it's
and I told
it's
Scott,
funny because once she told me that, I couldn't look at her. I couldn't look at her the same again because I was like, oh my God, she does look like one of them alien things.
oh, it's so funny.
Because she didn't get it. She just didn't understand. When
No.
I went up to her, I went,
No, you didn't. What if she went back to you? That would have
oh!
been crazy. That would have been weird. Okay, you can do number 4 too.
Okay, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Lives are shattered. The nation is in chaos. Attack of the killer tomato. Attack of the killer tomatoes.
Well, just the trailer alone is intense. What do you think?
Wow.
Who sits in a room and says, "I got an idea"?
I mean, who comes up with this?
That's hilarious. Oh my
Number
gosh.
3, The Birdemic,
Shock and Terror.
2009. Worst acting ever.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, this is but there is a close tie with number 2, the Birdemic 2 Resurrection. But we'll just say number 3 is Birdemic, Shock and Terror. Here's a clip.
Why would birds do something like that? I mean, why would they just attack?
I don't know.
It is so lame. I watched the trailer, and it's like your 6th grader with a video camera, and they're acting out. Why would birds do that? I don't know. And it's so horrible. It is so horrible, Scott. And when you actually watch the whole trailer, it's like a 5-minute trailer, and the first minute or so is shows all this romance and stuff, and you're like, I thought I had the wrong trailer. And then it gets into the whole Birdemic. I'm like, what is this movie really about? It is so ridiculous. You guys got it. So that's number 3. Number 2, Night of the Lepus.
Giant homicidal rabbits.
1972. Here we go.
What happened? That night science made its greatest mistake. What unknown terror was born that night. What can stop them? Night of the Lepus from MGM.
That was for those who are slow at understanding.
What happened?
Wow.
It is ridiculous. So I mean, you guys gotta rent these. These are good ones. And of course, number one.
You might have to get some of Whoopi Goldberg's
medical marijuana.
So that you can watch these films and enjoy them. But whatever it takes, I guess.
Number one, it isn't Troll 1, but it is
Troll 2.
That's our number one B-rated horror flick. Listen up.
Still telling the same story, Josh?
Powers of evil are very strong here. I must leave.
Goblins don't exist. Goblins don't exist.
So, goblins don't exist. It's like all those little gnomes from the yard, and they like are running around. It is so ridiculous, but it's like those movies that you just have to watch. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's the dust that you're sucking in. See?
It is. From Mars.
So, let's see. We're into an hour. We do have some emails. Maybe we could wait next week and do the emails. We could do Rock and Reject. What do you want to do? What do you think? No pressure or nothing.
Well, what don't...
Let's do Rock and Reject, and then we'll do our emails next week.
Okay. So, you want me to do the rock first?
Yeah, you have the rock.
Okay.
Wait, gotta play our Rock and Reject music.
Right about now, you're about to be possessed.
Hit it.
Okay, you do the
Okay,
rock.
rock. What rocks? I'm not sure if this is a rock or a reject, actually, once you hear the whole story. But so, thus, a 27-year-old Mike Banks. What he did is he climbed a steep 581-foot high Morro Rock.
Morro
Rock. It's off the coast of California. Now, Banks used this awesome backdrop to propose to his fiancée via his iPhone with the FaceTime app. She did say yes.
Yay, that's what rocks.
That rocks. However, Mikey took a steeper trail back down the side of the cliff and become stranded on a sheer ledge. A witness heard him yelling for help and dialed 911. Then a California Highway Patrol helicopter lifted him off the rock. So now he has to pay for the helicopter ride, which, by the way, is in the thousands of dollars range. Now, it's not over. To make matters worse, he was cited for trespassing because climbing Morro Rock is deemed too dangerous, so it is prohibited. Now, he was also arrested on suspicion of being under the influence and in the possession of a methamphetamine.
Oh, boy.
Maybe, if you're going to climb all that. But so, now Banks was in the San Luis...
or something.
Obispo County Jail on Friday morning in lieu of posting a $10,000 bond. But do remember, she did say yes.
I just think it rocks because it's an awesome story.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine what their wedding's going to be like.
Oh, man. Yeah, they got something to talk about for many years.
I want to find that picture. I'm sure we'll find it sooner or later on the line.
Hopefully they'll show a little bit of mercy in court on some of this stuff. Give them a little bit of a break on some of the fines or something.
Okay, now here's the reject, and you'll find this interesting. So I wanted you to do it, but my notes, you wouldn't have been able to read them.
You're right.
Vince Neil from Motley Crue. Oh, yeah. 55. And Nicolas Cage, 52. Both eligible for AARP. They got into a fight at the Las Vegas Strip. At the area hotel. So supposedly a fan... Vince Neil was probably all drunk or something.
No.
A fan asked Vince Neil isn't he ever going to grow up?
No, there's no need when you're a rocker. You rock till you die, man.
I guess. Aren't the Stones like 100 and they're still rocking?
Yeah.
So a fan asked Vince Neil for an autograph. He supposedly, and I don't know the circumstances of what happened, but he supposedly pulled her hair and he like pulled her to the ground. She fell to the ground. Nicolas Cage, I don't know if he was with Vince Neil hanging out or he was there and just saw it, and he actually like got Vince Neil and took him outside to calm him down. And they actually have video. People were obviously videotaping this. So they've got video of this, and he's like telling Vince Neil, chill out, man. Stop this now. Stop this now. But Vince Neil started fighting against Nicolas Cage, calming him down. And so Nicolas Cage had to pin Vince Neil's arm behind his back and grab him like in a headlock to chill him out. Try to get him into a car, but Vince Neil, they got into a fight. Vince Neil got cited for battery. So I'm thinking, here's like two 50-year-old guys, and yeah, they may be Hollywood, but they're fighting on at Vegas
Well,
Strip.
actually, only one's fighting. The other one's trying to stop everything. But
Yeah, that's true. But
he's trying to make things better, and the guy's out of control. So.
But it's like, everybody just chill out. You're 50. Are you supposed to be home watching Lawrence Welk or something?
Lawrence Welk's not on anymore.
Yeah, it is. On PBS.
Yeah, but it's not
Popular.
It's on reruns.
People don't know what it is. What would you watch when you're 50, like old? Well, 50 is not even old.
Okay,
but,
I'm
like,
48, so I'm not watching reruns of Lawrence Welk. Okay? I'm not looking for the old Johnny Carson tapes either.
Oh, come on. Johnny Carson
I understand
is awesome.
that, but, I'm not quite
would.
got one foot completely in the grave yet. Give me a break.
I'm almost there, too. I'm almost there.
Wow,
That's funny.
man.
I guess when you hear 50, you think old, but it's really not when you're there because you just feel young. It's a mental thing. So I guess we could just go hang out at Las
We're
Vegas
going to have
and get
to
to a
start
fight.
going to a lot shorter ones because I won't be able to hold my bowel movements that long.
Happened?
What happened?
Oh, okay. Well, that is our show for tonight.
All right, show's over. We're done.
And we will see you guys, or you'll hear us next
I
week.
ain't going to see anybody. This is a podcast.
Maybe I'll take some video of us during the week. Just some stupid video, and I'm going to put a little montage together of us waking up in the morning stuff so they could see what real life is like for TSR. Oh, yeah.
We're old people.
Have a good weekend. Hey, this is Heidi from Talk Supernatural. You know I like to talk, so let's keep the confab hot. Follow us on Twitter at TSR Parapod. And check out our Facebook page, Talk Supernatural Podcast. We air for you, so hit us back. We'd love to hear what you think of the show, too, so email us, talksupernatural@gmail.com, and we'll give you a shout-out on air.
Check out more from Talk Supernatural Radio. Head over to tsradio.net. You can listen to TSR on iTunes, Spreaker, TuneIn, and YouTube. If you have any questions or would like to know more on spiritual afflictions, hauntings, demonic influence, check out Scott and Heidi's SWAT resource site at EPH612SWAT.com.
This world's a tortured place to be. So many things to torment me. And as I stumble down this road, it takes a toll. I need an intervention. But I can see it coming. Some things just can't be explained.
And that's all, folks.